If you want to see something that fucking sucks about the business, right now I have $151,000 of invoices that are late, unpaid over the last 365 days, and then a little bit that are not due yet. But this is very common. And you would say, well, Josh, that's just going to get paid. No, it's not. The problem is, you might say, oh, wow, you must make a ton of money. That's not true when I have a ton of expenses. So during that time, a problem that I always have as I try to get into my hammock, the second I take on a new client or I take on a sponsor or I take on something for the business and there's supposed to be new money coming in because you agreed, you signed a contract, you signed an invoice, and out of, I guess, assumption, in my past life, I always thought that meant that I was going to have the money coming in. What you often realize, you'll do the work for a month, you'll have a contract, you'll send an invoice, and sometimes the money just never comes. I'm stuck holding the bag. I'm stuck fucking paying the team. This is a massive lesson for beginner entrepreneurs to not do what I've done. Fucking bitten me in the ass so many times. It's biting me in the ass right now. As you can see, I have a lot of money that is probably not going to get paid. Well, most of it's definitely not. I spent the money before I had it. That's the main overall point. Until you actually have the money in your bank account, you should not be spending it. Ideally, I want to grow as quickly as possible. If I take on a new client, I want to invest that money in the growth of the business so the business makes more money over time. If I was playing it safer, what I would do, that I'm going to have to start doing in the future because I've been bitten in the ass so many fucking times doing this, is I take on a client, I'm going to have to take the first payment before we start work, before I hire a team to build shit out. A lot of the times, a contract doesn't fucking matter. It just doesn't. You just don't get paid. I'm the one on the hook for hiring the team. And then if you hire a great team, you're like, fuck, I don't want to let these people go. But if the money's not coming in, there's nothing that you can do. So you can't spend money that you don't have. And that's a problem that I've had to learn over and over and over and over and over again. And I'm still learning it. And I'm still making that same fucking mistake. You know what an idiot is? An idiot is someone who does not learn from their mistakes. They make the same mistake, they get hurt by it, and then they just make the same mistake again, and then they get hurt by it, and then they make the same mistake again. I've continuously done this. That means I'm an idiot. I no longer want to be an idiot because at some point you put your hand on the frying pan. Maybe it's only warm and you're like, you know what, that doesn't hurt that bad when it's a few $1,000s. You know what, maybe it doesn't hurt that bad when it's a few $1,000s again. When the numbers get pretty large like they're starting to get, it hurts a lot because I'm spending that much money going out of the business because I want to grow, I want to expand, I want to grow the business, I want to make more money. This has been a massive learning lesson. I've still been learning because right now I actually have 3 clients that I've recently taken on that I've not talked about on this channel where they are in that beginner group of overdue expenses. So we'll see what happens. My expenses are still due. Always do everything with a high degree of integrity. And people that do something one way, they do it every way. I've had one client that I've had forever. He will pay me always on time. It has never even been a discussion. Same thing with me. When I'm paying people, I am going to pay them the second it's supposed to be due because that is what you do as a responsible person. This is just frustrating because it's just real burning that I've had to go through. Back to the growth mindset, which is I always just live in forever optimism, which has been to my detriment, but having a positive outlook on life and being constantly positive, just see stuff like this as a learned experience to move forward. Even though it just sucked, there's a huge opportunity at the end of this month, a ginormous opportunity where I think the business could double in a 3-day event. Let me explain. One of my clients, we're about to fucking make him a ton of money. We already do. About to make him a lot of money. He's having a live event. I'm going to go speak at the live event. There's going to be a lot of people there. And I just said, dude, instead of paying me more, help me get new clients. There's a few ways where I can make money. One is taking on new clients. The other is giving better results to current clients because I have a performance-based model. The third is finding sponsors because I have a organic media company doing all the organic media for a lot of large businesses, then building out all the back-end funnels. That's how we get the sales. That's how we could potentially make money for some clients. But then I also get sponsors for a lot of these creators and business owners because that's worth a lot to a lot of people. And so this event, they are making over $1 million in just sponsorships for a live event where there's going to be a few thousand people there, which is a ton of money. That same person, you could just sponsor his YouTube channel and all of his podcasts and everything else. I'm just going to go talk to all the vendors that are already paying him over 25 grand to be at a 3-day event for 2,000 people and say, hey, what if you could get his same audience, but you only have to pay $25,000? Do you get almost 1 million views? Doesn't that sound a lot better? I think we could probably close at least $50,000 a month in sponsorship revenue this weekend or that weekend would be pretty big for me. In addition to that, take on 3 to 5 clients because I would love to take on more clients if we have the capacity to scale. And I think that we will be able to at that moment, as long as we don't go bust until then. Somehow, no matter what you do in business, you will find a way to not make money. A lot of the times, you just have to learn through pain. It's unfortunate. I wish that I could have watched a video on YouTube, saw someone else's pain, and then said, you know what, I'm not gonna do that. I'm a fucking arrogant asshole. I wouldn't have taken my own advice. If I said, hey Josh, you shouldn't spend the money before you have it. There's a lot of reasons for that. You should just wait. That will actually have you grow faster, but you'll have more money. I wouldn't have listened to an asshole like myself. And so you probably won't either.